Congratulations, Reese Jacobs, on your third state wrestling title. How old were you when you got into wrestling, and who are those you look up to?
It all started when I was 6 years old. I fell in love with the sport as soon as I stepped on the mat. First ever practice, it was awesome. And yeah, that was one of my core memories. And my brother's always been a good mentor toward me. And he helped me to push myself, and he motivated me a lot. And I had a lot to look forward to with him by my side. And just can't be more thankful for my team and my family and my friends. So,
what was the key to your 3 state titles?
The biggest key is hard work. Hard work solves everything. You go into the wrestling room every day. You got to put the same work in every day. It's hard work, and yeah, that's what fixes everything.
I'm Aiden Werlinger. I'm the 95-pounder for Sturgis. State tournament, we did pretty good. As a team, we got 4th in the tournament, and then in the duels, we got 4th also.
My name is Brooklyn Baird. I wrestled 113. I'm a freshman in high school, and I got 2nd at state tournament. My individual matches, I had a couple tough ones, and I ended up getting pinned in my finals match, but I think I did pretty good overall, and I think I improved a lot over the season.
Tegan Zabrowski, I wrestled 120 for Sturgis all year. I was 4th in the state. I'd say the individual tournament went pretty good. We kind of had a rough placing round as a team, but we ended up 4th, which is pretty tough as a team. Best team since Abel's been here in 7 years, so that was pretty cool. And then the duels, a little bit of a rough day too. 5 kids hurt, but still ended up 4th in those too, so ended up pretty good all in all. So
I'm Zach Jules. I wrestled 220 for Sturgis. The state tournament was really fun this year. We had to head out a day early, but just meant more time with the team. Just the bonding and everything was so nice. During placings, we ended up about how everyone thought it was. We had a couple losses where we could have won. On the individual side of things, I ended up being the 3 seed. Went out there and just wrestled my match. Couldn't go out there and underestimate anyone. In the semis, wrestled Watertown kid that I haven't wrestled all year, and just got a win when I needed it. Yeah, just wrestled the best I could.
We are with Mike Abell, the Sturgis Scoopers head wrestling coach, to talk about the state tournament for 2023.
Yeah, it was a good state tournament. I think some people, they looked at things like the rankings, which are hard to look at because they're not accurate, and they saw that at some points during the year we were ranked 2nd. So in some people's minds, I think that's where they thought, we could have been. And if, some of the seeding in the state tournament would have been a little bit different, maybe that was something we could have chased, but we kind of had 4th circled as the number that we were probably going to end up. We definitely could have won some more matches at the state tournament, lost some close ones, but it wouldn't have changed probably where we ended up as a team in the individual side. Brandon Valley, Watertown and Pier, extremely tough in all 14 weight classes, as we are as well. But placing 10 kids is not an easy task. And putting 10 on the podium this year was a huge success. We almost squeaked out 11, lost one in the last second in the blood round at 152. But 10 kids is a great performance. We put 3 boys in the finals, 1 girl in the finals, ended up with 1 champ out of that, which we lose. He was a senior, but we return everybody else. We got a big group coming back. We only lose 3 seniors out of those place winners. So the individual side was a success, but something we can definitely build on. I think, going forward to next year already, looking at, what we just met with the team, I think we're a top 2 team next year. Pier returns the most state points out of anybody, and then BV and Watertown and us are a close tie for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. But we have some great backups. Our dual alternates this year stepped up big, and we hope to get all those guys in the lineup next year. There will be a weight class shift for the high school weights next year. Are going to be different, so that could play a little bit of havoc across the state on who's going to go where. But that's next year. As far as going back to this year's state tournament, a success in my eyes. The dual state tournament on Saturday was an emotional roller coaster. We had the duels seated where we wanted to be. We were at 3 seed. We wrestled Harrisburg first round. we fell into this injury-plagued day like I've never seen. And we still ended up getting the first-round win against Harrisburg, but we lost our 195-pounder who was pinning the defending state champ from the night before, and kind of blew out his ankle and knee and had some issues there, had an injury default out. We lost our 13-pounder to a dislocated shoulder, and he wasn't able to wrestle the rest of the day. Then we went into the semifinals against Pierre, a team that we really wanted to wrestle again after having them on the ropes at East-West duels, but knowing that we weren't healthy, it wasn't looking good. Then we lost, in that duel, we lost our 132-pounder. He broke his hand in a match, so he was done for the day. And then our 106-pounder dislocated his knee, so he was done for the day. So it was a rough day for injuries. I mean, I'm glad it waited till the last day of the year to happen and not, the day before or any time, prior to that. But it was a tough pill to swallow. We ended up fourth in the duels, which, we figured we'd be third or fourth in there, at best. And so finishing fourth, we weren't upset with it. I'm glad that we still got there with the injuries that we did suffer. But it couldn't be more proud of the team, boys and girls. They battled this weekend or last weekend. Left it all on the mat. There wasn't anything that we were really upset with, from any individual. There was, like I said, we lost a couple close matches that kids and I would love to have back. But, it's a state tournament, and there was a lot of factors in there. Some that people don't know is even on Friday, we had to hold our weight for the state dual tournament, which you have to weigh in on Saturdays. So we had kids that weren't able to, grocery up and feel good like you normally would on a second day of a tournament, where other teams that weren't involved in the duels could. So we felt, small and I don't want to say weak, but in some of those, a little drained because we had to hold our weight for one more day that other teams didn't have to focus on. So I give our team credit for doing that, taking that sacrifice or having that sacrifice and putting the team in front of some of themselves. And it paid off. Getting a fourth place in the individual and a fourth place in the duel was a good weekend and something to be proud of.
Coach, it sounds like you got a good team coming back next year.
Yeah, we're junior heavy, which a lot of people say, it's a good thing and a bad thing. Next year's class will be a big class to lose, but we got some good talent underneath them. But yeah, we've seen this junior class coming for a long time, and there's some talent in that junior class. They carried us this year. Losing our seniors, it'll be sad. It's always sad to see every senior, class go. But we'll pick up and move on, and they'll be in the stands or in our corner or in the room cheering us on. And our juniors are talented. We have some spots that we're definitely going to have to replace. Corbin at 106, Thane at 138, and Reese being a three-timer at 182. All those guys were in the lineup for us as seniors, and then we lost a couple others. But we'll fill them, and we got some young guys in there that are chomping at the bit, I think, to get into the lineup and see what they can do, and so we're excited for that. And we told them just in our meeting that we had, if you don't do anything from right now until next year, you're not going to be any better, so don't expect any different results. So I'm hoping that our kids take it serious and understand that we're a team that could, chase a top two type situation in the individual and in the duels. So as long as we stay healthy, get our injuries that we suffered last Saturday fixed, because quite a few of them are going to be surgery type injuries, and get those guys rehabbed right and be ready for next year, and not put them off too far to where, it's affecting next year as soon as we start, then I think we'll get off on the right foot.
Always great to visit with you. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks for coming. It was a long season, between whether it's injuries and snow and weather and everything. We appreciate your guys' coverage and everything you guys do for the sport.